What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ayo Loves Cars. In my last video, I mentioned that not every Mercedes is a Benz. So I'll be using this video to explain what I meant by that. We all know Mercedes-Benz as a luxurious auto manufacturer. We call that Mark, so it's easier, just a Mark, M-A-R-Q-U-E. But do we know Mercedes-Benz parent company? Anyhow, Mercedes-Benz parent company is Daimler AG or Daimler AG. Back in 1926, DMG and Benz and Company merged to create Daimler-Benz. So that is the Mercedes-Benz as we've known it ever since. Prior to that, prior to 1926, before the merger, we had Mercedes vehicles, Mercedes 35 and a host of other vehicles. And we also had other Benz vehicles. But them coming together, we started having Mercedes-Benz. So when they merged, it became Daimler-Benz. So, over the years, they maintained that name. Then in 1998, Daimler-Benz and Chrysler merged, and we had Daimler-Chrysler. But in 2007 they split. Chrysler was sold off or let go, and Daimler became Daimler AG, with Mercedes-Benz being their automobile models. So fast forward to 2019, Daimler AG decided to make Mercedes-Benz a company of its own. Made it a subsidiary underneath it. So Daimler AG is the parent company. Then Mercedes-Benz is a subsidiary underneath it. Mercedes-Benz is responsible for making the passenger vehicles, passenger sedans, cabrios, SUVs, and things like that. We also have different Mercedes departments. We have the one for making trucks and other things. So typically, Mercedes-Benz are the mainstream vehicles. These are the vehicles with 3 numbers after the model. For instance, the C300 or C250 or S560, they have 3 numbers, 560 and things like that. Those are the mainstream Mercedes-Benz. Those are your normal. You have them in 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, even 8 cylinders. Those are your normal Mercedes-Benz vehicles. So underneath Daimler AG, we have Mercedes-Benz, as a subsidiary. Underneath Mercedes-Benz as well, we have another subsidiary known as the Mercedes-AMG. AMG is Mercedes-Benz in-house high-performance division. So a high-performance car, it looks like the mainstream vehicle, the same headlamps, same everything. It's just some kits, maybe a different grille, extra skirts, diffuser, and things like that. And obviously different materials. So some of the materials in the AMG Mercedes models are lighter than the mainstream Mercedes-Benz models, but they are stronger. So the AMGs have more powerful engine, more powerful brakes. Overall, it's a more powerful vehicle. Like the name implies, it's high performance. It's for high performance driving, intense driving, drifting, speeding, racing, and things like that. So if you're in the mainstream Mercedes-Benz C350 and someone pulls up in Mercedes AMG C63 and tells you to race, I would advise you to just hide your face or act like you can't see the person and don't attempt to race the person, because the AMG will actually smoke you. Let me use the Mercedes GLS, the new GLS, to compare the power and the price points for the mainstream and the AMG. So the 2021 GLS, we have the GLS 450, GLS 560, I think something like that. So the GLS 450 has an inline 6-cylinder engine that produces 363 horsepower thereabouts, and it costs around 70 something to 80 something thousand dollars. But the GLS 63 AMG has a V8 in it and produces 603 horsepower and costs around $130,000. So yeah, you can see as much as $40,000 or $50,000 price difference. So the AMGs are first of all more expensive than the mainstream Mercedes-Benz. Then they are more powerful, a whole lot faster, and a whole lot more fun to drive than the mainstream Benz. The mainstream Benz are just okay when you need a car to get you from A to B and things like that. But the AMG is when you want to make a statement or when you want to enjoy your driving. Like the name implies, high performance vehicles are vehicles made for high performance driving. So my friend Ryan of R32 Gaming and I will make a video on high performance vehicles so that you can understand more about high performance vehicles. Quick summary of AMG. AMG was formed by 2 Mercedes-Benz engineers. They used to get Mercedes vehicles and put in and modify the engine and put in a new engine and do some things to just make the car more powerful. But over the years, Mercedes bought shares in the company, and eventually Mercedes has taken full possession of the company. So it's now an in-house company. So Mercedes AMG. I'll make a separate video about AMG, explaining more about AMG later on. So now like I said earlier, we have the Mercedes-Benz and we have the Mercedes-AMG. So now moving to the third one, we have the Mercedes-Maybach. You know, we already have Mercedes-Benz being a luxurious company. So now the Maybach is an ultra luxurious vehicle from an already luxurious auto manufacturer. So now the Maybach, first of all, okay, we know Maybach or Maybach, depending on how you want to call it. I'm not really bothered about pronunciations as long as we know what we're trying to say. So the Maybach was discontinued in 2012. So in 2015, they revived it and it became Mercedes-Maybach. So only three Mercedes models actually have the Maybach option. You know, we have the S-Class, you know, which is obviously the Mercedes-Benz flagship. So the S-Class, the G-Wagon, and the GLS all have mainstream versions. You know, you see the S-Class mainstream, you know, we see the GLS mainstream, and we see the G-Wagon, the mainstream. And they all have AMGs as well, you know, the AMG versions of them. So the normal G-Wagon doesn't have the Maybach option, but the G650 4x4 Londonly is a special edition of the G-Wagon, and it's a Maybach. But we have the mass-produced Maybach in S-Class and GLS form. This was a quick one, but I just wanted you to have an idea so that when you see a Maybach on the road or when you see an AMG, you won't think they're on the same level as the mainstream Mercedes owner. The price range is different. Okay, like now, like I mentioned that the mainstream 460 is around 70 to 80 or $90,000, and the AMG is around 130. The Maybach is like $160,000. So you can see the gap in the pricing, you know, also because of what you get from the vehicle. You might have come across some cars like, let's say, the GLE Coupe 450 AMG. Okay, some of the mainstreams have the options of the AMG kit, you know, the AMG kits, just to make it look sportier. You know, sometimes you can see a C300 and you see the AMG badge at the back. People could actually just stick the badge at the back, you know, take out their C300 badge at the back and stick the AMG badge, and maybe even put the 63 there. But you know, from the sound, when we see the engine, you know, the M177 engine, we know that this is an AMG. Almost all Mercedes passenger vehicle models come from Mercedes-Benz. But you know, the AMG GT and AMG GT4 though are cars that come strictly from AMG. Also the SLS was strictly from AMG. You know, they don't have Mercedes-Benz options, it's strictly AMG. So these cars too are manufactured or made by the AMG division. I would advise, if you're getting a G-Wagon, just get a G63 AMG. There's no point getting a G550 or a G500 or a G350, because when we see the G-Wagon, we expect a lot. So just go for the G63 AMG. As usual, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ayo Loves Cars, and follow me on Instagram and other social media platforms. Thank you. See you in the next video.